We are in St. Augustine, Florida, the nation's oldest city. Pier fishing with star of Discovery Channel's hit TV show, George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing. We're here with George today on Fish Mob, where we're mobbing and bobbing. Hello, I'm Jacob, and we are here with the first episode of Fish Mob, where we're mobbing and bobbing. And we are here with...
Hi guys, I'm Rod Green. I'm a show producer for George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing.
We are brought to you today by Chili's, like no place else, and by layofflookout.com. Know about layoffs early. And so we are here with two fishermen today. We are joined by
Alex
and today we are at Volano Beach Pier in St. Augustine, Florida, the nation's oldest city. And we are here trying to catch, what are we trying to catch today, Rob?
Pretty much, anything here, probably a cheap head, maybe some redfish, see what's there. And obviously, the bite's just a little, not as good as we'd like to have it, but hopefully we'll somehow have to with these nice fish here.
Right, so we're out here pretty early in the morning, time check, okay? And so my first question, do fish like breakfast?
Do fish like breakfast? Well,
that we're out here so early.
It could be, there's a thing called the solar periods, and those are when the sun is up high or below, or when it's on pretty much the horizon. And, when that happens, those are usually the peak times for fishing, so it all depends on the time the sun comes out.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable. And we understand that it was just high tide, so the tide's coming out now. How will that affect, our ability to catch out or what work test?
Right, as we see the lines are pretty much dry out there because they're doing the best they can to make it work. The current is running pretty good, so it just makes it just a little bit more difficult for the fishing at this point. But hopefully we'll catch something here. Hey, you guys want to hear a crazy story? You guys want to hear something cool? Probably around 15 years ago, fishing with George, and sure enough, it's getting late in the day. Get caught 2 swordfish already. It's getting really late in the day. And we're waiting and waiting. Finally hooks up to another swordfish, and it's a big one. And sure enough, the boat's circling, and we're trying to hear with our headphones, and all of a sudden, the mics go dead. And sure enough, George had fallen in, and the swordfish pulled him in. And he literally was about 10 feet under, and thank God he knew how to do with all the fishing stuff, because he knew to release the line and give him some pressure to get back up. And that was one of the scariest days, because we almost lost him that day. But it's one of the scariest days out in the water with George, was that swordfish day. Remember that one, buddy?
George, what was going through your head when that happened? Can you explain to us a little bit about how you felt? And
the first thing when you hit the water, it's the freakiest feeling in the entire world. You just see blue and bubbles, and you're being pulled down because you're in a harness with the fish. So first thing was, so this is how I'm going to die. And immediately I said, no, this is not how I'm going to die. I'm going to slowly back the drag off. I had this escape thing all planned out. And then when I backed the drag off, alleviated the pressure, I came back to the top. And I grabbed the side of the boat, and I said, now the next step is I have to unclip the rod and reel from me, but I couldn't find where the rod was. When I had gone over, the rod turned like this in the harness and went between my legs, so when I was trying to reach out to unclip, I couldn't do it. But one of the producers on the other boat swam over and got his hand in there, unclipped me, and we put the rod back into the boat. The fish was still on it, so I get back in the boat, and probably about 40 minutes later, we boated the fish, the 256-pound swordfish. But had it not been for the knowing that could happen is people to freak. And if I didn't take the drag off, I was being pulled down. But if you go free spool, you could bird's nest the line and lock up, and I'll still pull you down. So you back it off, relieve the pressure a bit to where you could come up, and that's what sort of got me.
That was a pretty scary day from my recollection. That was a crazy day.
It was different.
Yeah, put it that way. It was definitely different.
That is. So sometimes it doesn't always go to plan, even on television.
Never. And craziest thing about that was, like you said, we had one of our producers pretty much dive in to help him. And of course, I could have dove in too, but I had to film it because
he got the whole thing on film, which was great. But at the end, we ended up eating the swordfish. The swordfish didn't end up eating us. That was a victory at sea.
A win is a win sometimes.
It was a win. It definitely was a win.
So where did this happen?
This happened down in Almirada. We were fishing with, it was Nick Stanzik, right? Fishing with Nick Stanzik, long out in the water. And I think by the time we caught that, by the time we got in the boat, by the time we got back, it was at 10 p.m. at night. By the time we got back,
the sun was just going down when we boated the fish. And we were 30-some miles offshore, so we had to run back to Almirada at night. And then we pulled a marina, like you said, around 10 o'clock or so, and weighed the fish there. And it was a long night, and but successful.
Successful, so it's always good. You never know what's going to happen on the water. It's the way it works. But
have you ever... So you've been out on a lot of trips. Have you ever thought to yourself, the line, we're going to need a bigger boat?
It's kind of funny. You get out there, and there are times. There was one time we were off a marathon, and we had our drone up, and they were just going for blackfin tuna, and we had the most massive amount of sharks coming by the boat, just zipping in and zipping out, trying to get this fish for us. And it was pretty crazy. When you look at it on the drone shot, you realize how big these sharks are. And yeah, every once in a while, you kind of say to yourself, maybe that's nothing, a bigger boat, but nothing like that really happened. But it's always good.
Have you ever thought of, when there's sharks around, getting in that cage and really trying to connect with these animals, connect with these big fish?
Yeah, it's something I try to avoid, doing that kind of stuff.
Swimming with sharks, you're not.
I mean, when you're down in the Keys, one of the sharks that's kind of prevalent down there is the bull shark, and that is the one that is just nasty and dangerous, very aggressive. And I mean, there was one time I was with George and we were loading up the boat, and we're at Island Murata, and sure enough, we're loading up the boat, and the fishing world, the marinas and docks are, that's where all the sharks are. I just was helping them out, and I went right over, went right to the drink, and fell in. And you're sitting there just nonchalant trying to figure it out, and for someone trying to get my flip-flops, and he's looking at me going, what the heck are you doing? Get out of there. It was bull sharks everywhere, and that immediately kind of set the fire and kind of jumped out of the water. Said, kind of good stuff. Yeah, it's kind of crazy down there. Yeah, that's there. Very remarkable. It's fun. It's a fun job. I cannot complain.
So how are you feeling out here on this beautiful Monday morning?
Pretty good. Sun's shining, not too much wind. Nice going out though, so less chance to catch fish.
Right. And, it's a little bit past breakfast time. It's more of a brunch. Maybe on a Sunday, it would make more sense to be fishing at this time. Do you feel like the brunch and the meals affect when fish are biting?
To an extent, I think.
Do you think how, if you can drop back here. This is beaches at Volano. People eat here. Do you feel like since people flock to the coast to eat, that fish also flock to the pier?
Yeah, I would say.
Rob, would you also say?
That's pretty good hypothesis, and sure.
Now another word from our sponsor, Chili's. Go to Chili's. All right, we're going to push over to Alex. Come with me, Rob.
Let's go check it out.
Let's go see how Alex is doing down here.
How's it going, everybody?
Alex, how are we feeling out here on this beautiful Monday morning?
I'm feeling good. The only thing I've caught so far is somebody else's line, but
Yeah. Anything biting the line at all, or just
I feel like I'm ripping double. Yeah. I still think I'm not quite as well as this. Maybe it's the lack of coffee or all that.
Do you feel like coffee does, is it more of a performance enhancer when it comes to fishing?
I think so. If you're more awake, then the fish are more awake, and then you can, get more fish that way.
I like that. Does the fish feel your energy through the line? So they'll be more apt to bite on that cat fuel line.
Pretty good. Now, are there any tips I could use for the lures I'm using?
mostly for this one, we got the fodder rate hydrate. So mostly on this line, you're going to do is mostly good at anything. You're trying to drop it directly below you.
Well, hopefully I'll catch us all some breakfast.
Hope you do.
George, how we doing?
Well, trying to help out the team here, see what I could do too, but it's not going all that well.
Well, if the professional can't catch something, what chance does Lachlan have?
Well, you never ever lose your faith on that, because the one fish will be coming through and eat this thing, and one fish sometimes makes the entire day, and it could be a trophy fish. So you never lose that enthusiasm.
I like that. You're bringing in customers, but just you're one person in the door, you have a lot of feet in the door.
As long as you have your bait and everything in the water, you have a chance to catch a fish. If you bring it out of the water and say it's slow, you're not going to catch a fish. So stick it out.
Stick it out. Great advice. Write that down. Stick it out from George. So George, you've been fishing for quite some time now, and you've been doing a lot of shows. This is our first show. And so what advice would you be given to a new fishing show like Fish Mob, where we're mobbing and bobbing?
I think you're good. I've been listening to the questions. I've been seeing the camera angles. So for a first run at this, I think you've got a good handle on it. Any advice that I could lend is you want to make sure that you hold people's interests. And if you get a slow day like today, when we'll not catch fish or not catch them yet, is you want to figure out what do people want to hear that's a really intriguing of interest. Like, why is a fishing pier special? Obviously, people don't have boats, whatever, come on the pier and fish at a low cost or no cost on there. And what does an inlet represent? And, a lot of intriguing things. Like, you have a pier here, it's a lot of structure. The pilings are coming down. They're ambush points for a lot of fish. And bait comes through. Well, it's a good structure. Structure holds bait, and free fish come by. And an inlets are amazing because they're passage rates for a lot of game fish that have come in and they'll inshore, and vice versa. See, you're already ahead of the game.
We're out here.
That sounds good. With a jacket like that, I figured you would be ahead of the game.
Hand to the shorts. Perfect. So, George, you've been on many expeditions that we've seen on Discovery Channel. Check out George's show on Discovery Channel. It's on Discovery
Yes. Yeah, they stream on Discovery Plus. as
Now
well.
streaming on Discovery
Yes.
Plus as well. What's maybe your favorite place that you've gone, the favorite experience that doesn't involve almost dying? What was the most remarkable experience?
Shoot, there's so many good, incredible places that we fish. It's really hard to put it all and to figure a favorite one. It depends on how you rate the favorite.
If
But
you could
it's-
give me maybe 3 or 5 that you would recommend as like, if someone that loves fishing to go there, check it out, make it a
Florida
bucket list
Keys are hard to beat. You have so many different opportunities. If you're an inshore person, you've got the backcountry, you got the flats, bonefish, scarfish, backcountry, smoke redfish, you fish reefs like yellowtail and muttons. They have the shallow patch reefs, then you have the deep reefs, and then of course incredible offshore fishing for dolphin, wahoo. It's a good area with deep canyons and swordfish. There's so much variety down there. I would have to say that's for sure you can't go wrong with the Keys.
You heard it here. George recommends the Florida Keys.
Couldn't have said any better than what he just about to say with all the promotions of
Chili's.
Chili's. They should at least cater it. Bring it on out here for us.
Chili's. Go to Chili's. They should cater it.
Yeah.
Also, layofflookout.com. Know about layoffs 2 months before they happen for free. Layofflookout.com. I would like to give a big thank you to George and Rob. Stream George's show on Discovery Plus today. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of Fish Mob, where we're mobbing and bobbing.
But not reeling anything in.
Cool. All right, can you just say your name for the camera?
My name is Keith. I live here in St. Augustine. I've been here for about 6 months now. I lived in St. Simons, Georgia, on the island there the last 4 years before I moved down here.
Do you eat anything that you catch out here?
Pretty much everything.
All of it.
Except for
What's your favorite way to prepare fish?
blackened.
Blackened's really good.
Why are you wearing a suit?
What? Why?
Yeah, why are you wearing a suit?
'Cause I'm a
And
host.
not even a full suit. Like,
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the legs, bro. Don't shoot the legs.
like the glasses though, but like.
Thank you. Check out his new shades. Put them on, Lachlan.
Yeah, what?
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually a fisherman now. This guy with his fishing socks. Look at this guy.
Fishing socks.
Everybody's prepared today. Everybody's prepared today. This guy, he's too cool for school.
Now, let me hold it so we can see you. Mr. Behind the Scenes right here.
Yeah, for sure,
Cootie
for sure.
right here.
For sure.
Does anyone get this reference?
Yeah, I know.
Talk to him. Inadequate.
Inadequate group. You know, like they half baked, don't know what they're doing. See us?
This
MVP, Mr.
White
Wing It.
t-shirt. Target.
Mr. Wing It. Mr. Wing It.
Yeah, Mr. I got this board. I don't know why.
That's
a wrap.
MVP got the monkeys.
Do 1 donut, 1 powdered donut. It's from Southeast Grocers. 1 powdered donut. Only 80 cents.
We're here with the old-fashioned from God knows where.
Southeast Grocers. Can I interest you
So
in a donut?
that's Winn Dixie. Now we have a finance exam. Last exam before the final.
How you feel about that?
I felt better about things in my life.
So like over under.
Of what? My score?
Yeah.
I would love a 79,
79.
but I'm hoping for an 84.
High achiever. Most people would be like 64.
This is remarkable. I know. This is remarkable. How's it going? I'm sweating a lot. You look good though.
Yeah, I get one more in it.
You want it?
If you want it, you can have it.
You can fish with it.
Colin just looks like he hates his job.
Actually, I like glasses on. I was really good at Bird chasing's better.
Bird chasing's better.
Yeah, I don't know what I have.
I'm gonna hold the donuts in the picture. That's gonna look really good.
Chili's. Go to Chili's.